Everything appears to be in order, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna go ahead and get started right now because otherwise, once this video goes up and is done being live, there's gonna be a lot of dead air if I'm just gonna wait on people. So, just want to say, yo, peoples, it was a lot brighter in my room because the sun was really shining. I don't know, sometimes the natural lighting in my room tends to be a little bit odd. But welcome to yet another solo leveling stream. I don't know what to tell you guys about the time of this being uploaded. Of the time of this being live. It's just we're kind of at the mercy of the translators, and depending on how fast they move, we could either get a chapter as early as 11 o'clock, or we're getting one right now, all the way into 12. And part of me kind of had my doubts that we were getting a chapter today because I was asking people, where's the chapter? I asked people in my Discord. I tried looking it up to see if it was delayed, and I was just wondering, is everything good? Is everything all right? Do we have the chapter today? I really want to do a reaction for my peoples here, but if we don't, I at least want to let them know either through my Discord and my community tab on my channel. Just let them know that, hey, we're not having solo leveling, so don't look for it, but we got it. So, Cohagen and Daniel Franco, it's good to see you all. And I have the usual site of where I read from, Ashura Scans. So last we left off, and here's a little bit of a recap here. We met Liu Zhigang, and he was, questioning Jin, being the only of the 500 top hunters all over the world there, questioning what's Jin going to do if the people that suspect Jin's dad of being the perpetrator behind the death of Christopher Reed, what is Jin going to do if they proclaim him a suspect and go after him? And Jin is all, if he is a monster, then I'll hunt him down. And I'll take care of him myself. But if he's in fact my father, then I will protect him, and I will destroy any hunter that tries to take him. And then later on, we meet up with Liu again, and Mr. White is translating for Jin, and it ends the and it seems like Liu is like a cool dude. He reminds me of Greed from Full Metal Alchemist. I know I made a comment on that when someone talked about it in my last stream. And Liu seems like a cool dude, and then he says, the last thing he says is, he's hoping, because there's a recap panel right here. White says he's hoping for that reason that Suspect S isn't a member of your family, because he would really like to get along with you. And then it just ends the chapter with Liu just walking away. But onwards to chapter 149. We are almost at 150. These chapters have really been adding up. When did I start solo leveling? It seems so long ago. But going into 149, we see Liu walk away with his entourage. And then we have White speaking, saying, he said he doesn't ever want to fight you, so I don't think he had any ill intent. And then Jin says, it's all right. And then we have the head of the Hunters Association come in saying, Hunter Sung Jin Woo, could you spare us some time? And then it shows, is that Lady Sellner? Ooh, that looks like Lady Sellner. I recognize the hair and skin tone. But Jin's there, so is White, so is the head director, and it looks to be Lady Sellner again. Yes, and here she is. It's been a while, Hunter Sung Jin Woo. And then Jin remembers. It's upgrader Norma Sellner. What does she want from me? And then he says, indeed, I never thought you'd come see me again. And then Sellner is speaking while White is translating for. I've been having the same dream every night recently, of top hunters being hunted down by someone. And a few days later, these dreams become reality. And then Jin says, You mean Christopher too? And then the head director says, we warned Mr. Reed, but he wouldn't listen. And you know how that turned out. And there's just a recap image of Christopher Reed just being completely bodied in the back of Jin's mind. Then Lady Sellner says, where are the rest of the images? Where's the rest of the images? Lady Sellner says, there it is. It just didn't load up. Lady Sellner says, sorry, it's just that the page didn't load up the image of Lady Sellner's face, and so it really threw me off. But Lady Sellner says, powerful hunters who have been supporting our world will continue to die. Those hunting these hunters will not stop. And then Jin says, so, you're here to warn me too? And then she says, no, I'm here to ask you to protect the hunters. And this surprises Jin. He just looks like, what? You want me to protect the hunters? And she continues saying, I've been trying to remember the faces of those who got hunted in my dreams, but it was no use. So I decided to try something else, to try to confirm their identities with my abilities within the dreams. Oh, it's not moving fast enough to load up these images. Come on now, come on. And then Jin says, so that time you looked into my eyes. Yes. The endless power that lies within them. Once I came in contact with it, I was forced to wake up from my sleep. I still remember vividly the voice I heard from it when we locked eyes. And Sellner says this with wide eyes, a frantic look, and a sweating forehead. Because whatever she saw terrified her. And then Jin says, and what did it say? And then she says, to go back. Oh, you just don't want to load up the images at all. Hold on, let me pull up an alternative. Let's do this quickly so I don't lose you guys. And it doesn't even want to pull up that image. Let me refresh. I got to refresh for you guys. My apologies. I want to make sure you guys get a want to make sure you guys can see. Okay, here it is. Here it is. All the images are loaded now. Okay, let me go back a little bit for you guys. And just so you know, I don't see chat because I have it full screen, and I'll read through your comments once I'm done. So if I'm not responding to whatever you're saying, please forgive me. That's just a precaution so that, just in case there's any preemptive people in chat who want to try and say stuff ahead of me when I'm reading, then I won't look at that and then be spoiled before I read it. So going back a little bit, she says, I still remember vividly the voice I heard from it when we locked eyes. And what did it say? To go back and prepare for war. And then Jin thinks it's the battle between rulers of sovereigns that the king of giants spoke of. In that case, I wonder which side the ones who are killing the hunters are on. And then Jin says, but what does that have to do with you asking me to protect the hunters? Because I detected a similar power within you. And then Jin, realizing that Sellner may be hitting it on the money, that he has an extra power in him, thinks to himself, I guess Madame Sellner saw the power of the Shadow Sovereign within me that day. So if she saw the same power from the hunters in her dreams, it must be the Sovereigns. And then the director says, they are in existence beyond hunters, and we require the help of your immense power to stop them. To be honest, we weren't completely convinced when we were told that you were the only one who could protect them. But we changed our minds when we saw the battle between you and Hunter Andre yesterday. Of course, we don't expect you to help us without any compensation. We offer anything you want, even the greatest treasure that Kamish left behind, the Rune Stone. And continuing on, the director says, there are hunters in this world who have received powerful blessings, and they have supported the world with their powers. If they disappear, this world will not be able to last. And Jin doesn't say anything. And then Jin says, I'm sorry. Is this because you still have personal grudges against Hunter Andre? And then Jin says, that's not it. It's that I still don't know who I need to be fighting against yet. And then he gets up and says, well then, and just walks away. And White immediately thinks back to the words that Jin said when he was questioned about what he's going to do about Subject S. He says, then I will protect my family. even if that means I'll make an enemy of every single hunter in the world. And then Jin stops, blows a breath out, and says, Agent White, could you give me the list of hunters they wanted me to protect? I'd appreciate it if you could provide an opportunity for me to meet those hunters as well. Of course, says Agent White. And here we go. Going into more narration. Last day of the International Guild Conference hosted by the Hunters Association. The Night of the Hunters. And we see a whole bunch of people just in a massive banquet area just eating. Just having a good old time. And we get Jin-Oh walking with Jin, looking good as new. And Jin says, how are you feeling? And then Jin-Oh says, good as new, boss. When I heard that you fought against Thomas Andre the Goliath. And then we got other people. And then we got other hunters making note of Jin as well, including this one dude looking at him saying, Oi, look. Oh no, he's right in front of us and yet I still can't feel his presence at all. He's on a different level. So the hunter next to him must be. He's the one who fought Thomas Andre to save. He's the one he fought Thomas Andre to save. And then we got someone walking up to him saying, it's an honor to meet you, Hunter Sung Jin Woo. I'm the CEO of a global corporation specializing in dealing with monster remains. We'd like to purchase all the giant monsters that you've hunted. Do you have a moment? And Jin thinks, good timing. And then Jin says, I'm mainly in charge of the raids, and my vice chairman here is in charge of all business-related matters. I'm Anjin Guild's vice chairman, Yu Jin-ho. Oh, yes, nice to meet you. I usually don't talk business in these kinds of places, but just for you. And then Jin just smiles as Jin-ho just does his thing. And then Jin says, he's really a proper vice chairman now. And then it appears that White comes up with the list. Hunter Sung, here's the list. We've ranked the hunters by points we assign them based on their contributions and activity. I noticed that I tried to change my voice just a little bit in mid-sentence there. My apologies. The 10 listed here are the top hunters leading in points. If you are to accept our proposition, you would likely be asked to protect these people. So you're saying they're high priority. Hunter points, huh? Where do I rank here? If we take into account the giant monsters you took down, probably 3rd or 4th. He is listed the 3rd or 4th top hunter out of everyone, based on the giant monsters he took down. But here we have a listing. At the top, 1st is Thomas Andre. 2nd is Liu Zhigang. 3rd is Christopher Reed. Might as well call that was. 4th is Siddharth Bakshan. And 5th is... And then Jin is just thinking, what a drag. Oh, so you're channeling Shikamaru now. What a drag. I should have just put a shadow soldier on each of them. Imagine if Shikamaru's voice came out of Jin. If I did that voice for him. But Jin is thinking, what a drag. I should just put a shadow soldier on each of them instead of memorizing all their names. Well, this really is an optimal environment to put shadow soldiers on people. And he just starts putting shadow soldiers on everyone. I'll make contact with the rulers through these hunters. This way I'll be able to tell who's friend and who's foe and who I need to fight. And as he steps, Woo's there. Yo, we haven't seen Woo in a minute. Hunter Sung. You won't have to worry about that. Yo, Andre's back. Andre is back. And he's up. He's got an arm in a cast. But more or less, he's all right. At least he looks all right. But we got Andre. Andre's just shown back up. It's only been like how long has it been? A day? And he's back? But Andre's there and he says, Hunter Sung Jin Woo, allow me to ask one thing. This arm, because the damage it took from magic power was too great, the healer's healing magic is not working. The doctor also said the same thing to me. that even though it is slowly recovering, is still far from complete recovery. If it were you, you could have single-handedly wiped out my entire guild after dealing with me. Even amidst all the commotion, not a single guild member has died. Excluding Mr. Huang, who was the cause of the commotion. Back then, why did you let us live? Jin doesn't say anything. And then Jin says, because you did not commit a sin that deserves death. And then Andre turns his head and says, I see. Yo, Jin says you didn't do anything to deserve death. It was Huang Dong-su who did it. You were just retaliating, but you didn't do anything to me to deserve me killing you. And then Andre says, I plan to have a great funeral for Mr. Huang. He has committed a sin that deserves death, but please let him have a funeral. Oh, also, after my arm heals, I would like to have a meal with you. If you give my manager your contact information, I will contact you later. And then we have Laura here saying, my master just showed his gratitude towards you for not harming his guild members. No matter how he looks, he's actually quite a shite person. No matter how he looks, he's actually quite a shy person. When you see his power, you kind of would think otherwise. And then Laura says, Hunter Nim, excuse my rudeness, but could you please tell me your contact information? My master wants to give you a gift of gratitude. Please tell me if there's anything you want. And then Jin says, I'm good, thank you. Then Laura continues saying, my master is very competitive, so he becomes uneasy when he feels he owes someone a favor. Anything would do, so could you please tell me something? And then Jin is just thinking, of gift of gratitude, huh? Maybe a useful dagger? And then Laura says, a dagger, I understand. I appreciate your understanding, Hunter Nim. And then we have White. And Laura just walks away, catching up with Andre. And then we cut back to White talking to Jin, saying, then shall we meet and greet the hunters that are on that list? I will be your guide. And then Jin says, no, there's no need for you to do so. And then Jin just says, is there a person missing? I don't see the rank 6 hunter. How did you... Because he put shadows on everyone, he's able to read everyone just through the shadows! Ooh! Oh, he doesn't even need the list. He can tell who's there. But White continues saying, we've lost contact with him a couple of days before the conference. The secret agency and the Brazilian government both have yet to find his whereabouts. Was he already done in? So that leaves 7 people. And then it cuts to a building. And it's Chairman Go Gun-hee! Go Gun-hee! I love this dude! Huh. It's quite strange. My heart refuses to stop shaking these days. And then we got narration of Go Gun-hee saying, my heart has been this way for a couple of years now, but I could feel it has been getting worse recently. Is this my limit? And then he thinks to himself, the doctor said I could potentially lose my life within a half a year if I keep up with this work. Since then, 1 year, 2 years have passed, and eventually I got to where I am currently. I can't do much since it seems to be my limit. I should be rather thankful that I held out for this long. And then, wow, Go Gun-hee was told that he would lose his life within half a year if he keeps up with this work. And since that time, 2 years have passed, and he eventually got to where he's sitting. And he can't do much. But then his phone rings, and he says, yes. And then someone says, nothing happened to you today, right? Oh, wait, I guess that's his wife. Nothing happened to you today, right? Dear. And then he leans back in his chair saying, she's such a worrywart. I was just about to go back. And then he opens his eyes and notices something immediately. And then, no, it's not just noticing something immediately. All the lights outside of his building just disappear. It is like a shroud of darkness just comes over his window. What's this? How could this have happened? Yo, is that the snow monarch? Is that the snow monarch? I recognize the getup. How could this have happened? And then Go Gun-hee looks over and sees the snow monarch, like the dark elf looking dude. He's sitting in a chair at the other end of the room, just smiling at him. Yo. Have the monarchs come for Go Gun-hee? And I'm going to say this before I bring Chad up, and then we're going to talk about this chapter a little bit. Do not, if you read the light novel, say anything alluding to Go Gun-hee's fate. I don't want to know. You will not be doing me a favor by telling me or confirming my suspicions. I don't want to know nothing. Read the header. Okay? All right. Bring in chat down so I can see what you guys have said. All right, so where did I, let me go through chat and just see everything. Okay, so Daniel Cohagen, exquisite Tarantino. Ooh, that is the best current Tarantinos, the exquisite kind. Blue Dragon, Khalil. Cdes Artist Handiwork, Epic Quinn. Sekai no Anime, Harry, Frozen Eagle. And Lucy and Hagrid. Risky, Jerome, Quentin, everyone. But let me see what you guys have said. Can't see the chapter 2, can't find chapter 149. I always read it from ashirascans.com. If one of my mods can just link that in the chat right now, so that way people can bookmark that if they want to, so they can know what these where I read these chapters from, because this is where I read it from. Wait, where are you reading? Thanks. The Daggers, finally. Please read. Alfie, Rev. I'll look into it. Hope Sung Jin Woo comes to fight. The next arc will be epic. Did I start yet? So the Monarch and Go Gun-hee became best friends forever. I know that's not the case, but still. Okay, so let's just go through this. Let's just go through this, and then I won't take up any more of your time, because I've been told that my family bought pizza last night, and I couldn't eat any of it because I was sleeping for work, and I haven't eaten lunch yet, and I want to eat my meat lovers with mozzarella sticks. But going through this, Jin is reunited with Lady Sellner, and we have already in Discord. Everyone, you can go in Discord and open the link. You can read it here. Yeah, Hagrid's got it. Thank you, Hagrid. Just in case people are not actually a part of my Discord as well, then it's just a way for them to read it. But Jin is reunited with Lady Sellner, and she's having all these dreams where she's seeing hunters just dying, and she felt that the power that would allow her to see where all the who all these hunters are, it's kind of akin to that of the power that Jin had when she read him the first time. So they come to the conclusion that maybe in order to keep these hunters from dying in Lady Sellner's dreams, because as she says, they come to pass. She saw it happen to Christopher Reed, and we know what happened to him. So coming to Jin and knowing how powerful he is, they give him the proposition of being the one to protect these specific hunters, because the director was all like, these hunters help keep the balance, and if we lose them, then who knows where the world will be up. I'm paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what the director is saying. He's saying if we lose these top hunters, then it's just going to be utter chaos, and we'll lose the balance of power that we've had all this time. And Jin at first reluctantly doesn't want to do it, because at the point he doesn't know who he's going to be fighting in the future, due to the discussion had about his father. So he doesn't know that, well, if I start protecting these hunters, what if these same hunters try and hunt down my dad? Do I continue to protect him? Because I did openly say to 500 other top hunters in the world, in the room, I did tell them that if he's my father, then he'll be fine. But if he's a monster, if he's my father, then I will protect him from every single hunter and I'll kill them all. But if he's a monster, then I'll just hunt him as normal. So he then kind of rescinds on it a little bit and just asks White to give him a list of all different hunters. And while he's in the banquet, while everyone is eating, we see that Jin-Oh is back on his feet again and, back with Jin again. And we see him speaking to one of the global associations with, handling monster remains. Jin-Oh starts talking to that guy, and Jin has just pretty much pushed out as many shadows as he can to every single person in the room. So that way he can scan them all, because he says, seeing all these people's names is going to be a bit of a hassle. And we also get a listing of the top hunters as well. Let me pull that back up because I want to make sure I get all of their names before I continue on. Where is it? There it is. In the listing of all the hunters, the top hunters is the first is Andre, second is Liu, third was Christopher Reed, and White says that due to current circumstances, you will either be third or fourth, because the fourth current one is Siddharth Bachchan, and I believe, and the fifth is, and we don't find out who the fifth is, and we find out that the sixth person that's missing has been gone for like a couple of days at least. But yeah, going through this, it says that we lost contact with him a couple of days before the conference. So the sixth person is missing. And then Jin says, so that just leaves 7 people to account for. And then we have Go Gun-hee. And the thing is, we also, let me just stay on topic here. We also have Andre come back. Siddharth Bachchan should be Indian because of the name. That's the vibe that I'm getting. I don't know. It could be as a Brazilian name as well. We'll have to see in the next chapter if we even meet him. But I don't think that's where the current chapter is. I don't think that's where the chapter is going to go. But we'll have to see. Thomas Andre comes back, and apparently, the rest of them is healed. But the magic power that went into Jin, punching his other arm. It's gonna be a long time before it's fully recovered, because not even their best healers can just make it recover in a short amount of time. It has to recover naturally due to the amount of magic power that Jin put into beating up on Andre. So that's one aspect that Andre is still recovering from. The rest of him is fine. Sure, he has like a scar here and there, well, more so like bandages here and there. But the real damage is still on his left arm that has yet to be out of the cast. And, he starts being very cordial with Jin, saying that, when all this is done, I'd like to have a meal with you. Then I'm going to have a proper funeral for Hwang Dong-soo. And he even asked Jin that he knew Jin had the power and the strength. He knew he had the power and the strength to literally kill them all. Every single... You want to explain them? I'm afraid it's a spoiler. Don't say it, Lucy. Dude, don't say it, Lucy! But, Andre notes that you literally had the power to kill every single member of my guild, including me. Why didn't you? And Jin says, because you didn't commit a sin worth killing you over. It was only Hwang Dong-soo. And then Andre's all like, well, okay then. And then he says, I'm going to have a funeral for Hwang Dong-soo because he committed a sin worthy of his death. And then he said, I'd like to have a meal with you. And then going forward, Laura was there saying, like, is there anything that you would like? uh anything at all that we can give you. And then Jin is all like, nah, I don't need nothing, I don't want nothing at all. And then Laura's all like, Andre is a very competitive person, and he absolutely can't stand it when he feels like he owes someone. So anything you can imagine, just tell us what it is, so that Thomas Andre can feel like he's squared away and he doesn't have it lurking in the back of his mind. So then, I know I'm just enjoying your stream, Lucy. Well, thank you, Lucy. I know you're not going to do anything to, spoil me on chapters as well. I have a massive amount of respect for you for doing that. I'm just glad that you're enjoying the stream as well. Continuing on, Jin is all like, I can't think of anything, and then he thinks, maybe a new dagger, and is all like, okay, a new dagger, then we got it. And then going forward from there, they start talking. Jin and the rest of them start talking about the last person that he needs to speak to. That was the sixth person that was missing. And then Jin saying, so that leaves 7 people. I'm pretty sure that if I missed anything of note, it's probably going to be brought up in comments, because people always, tell me if I've misspoke something or if I've missed something. I can always count on you guys to correct me when I am wrong. But going forward from here, that pretty much concludes all the events that are happening with Jin. And then it shows Go Gun-hee at his office back in South Korea. And he's noting that his heart refuses to stop shaking these days. His heart has been this way for a couple of years now, but he could feel it's been getting worse recently. So whatever's going on with Go Gun-hee, it has become even worse, And he's thinking, is this my limit? And the doctors apparently have said that he could potentially lose his life within half a year. Within half a year. That's not in half a year, but within that time frame of 6 months. If he keeps up the current work that he's doing. And then since then, 1 year, 2 years have passed, and eventually got to where he is currently. I can't do much because it seems to be my limit. I should be rather thankful that I held out for this long. This man is literally pushing himself past his limits to see whatever he wants to fruition. I get reminded of Gold Roger, if you've seen some of the recent episodes of One Piece, like during the final voyages of Roger, there was a moment where he was in his own quarters by himself, and he was just massively ragged by this disease. Like, he was coughing up blood. He could barely stand. He could barely move. But as soon as he got into the presence of his crewmates, you couldn't even tell that the man was sick. So I get a very massive final voyage, Roger's final voyage vibe from Go Gun-hee right here. So who knows what's going to happen next? But after he's done talking to his wife, it all becomes dark inside of his office, and everything gets dark, and he notices that something isn't right. Like, all the outside of the windows of his office is completely jet black. There's no light. He can't see anything. And he notices someone sitting in a chair, and it's the Dark Elf Monarch, who's just sitting there grinning at him. And that's the end of the chapter. So, I don't know what's going to happen with Go Gun-hee. I myself don't know. I'm pretty sure light novel people will know, but I don't. And I'm looking forward to the next chapter. Roger was just phenomenal. Destruct, let me just be honest with you here. The episodes of One Piece, and I'm kind of what's app status video all? Hey man, you seem to be wanting to, get my attention. Hello. Hi. How are you? Are you fine? I would like to hope so, with the amount of times you're trying to get me to say hi to you. Hello. I'll say it again. Hello, just so you can keep it in your back pocket. I know I'm kind of snarky today, but this is a side note here. I don't know what's going to happen with Go Gun-hee versus this Snow Elf Monarch. We know he can use ice because from the instance that we've seen him, like during his first introduction. And I already know what voice I already know the voice that I gave him the last time he spoke, even though it was like, what, a couple of months ago? It's been a while. So who knows what's actually going to happen? Is there going to be an actual fight? We don't know. But what I do know is that these monarchs, they are they're not messing around. They've already taken out Christopher Reed, and now they're making moves on Go Gun-hee. So, and the thing is, Jin, way back when Jin, before the Ajin Guild was even formed. I'll get back to the One Piece thing in a second, Destruct. But back before the Ajin Guild was even formed, back when Jin met Go Gun-hee for the first time, Jin could tell that there was a large amount of power in him, even in that smile that he gave off all the time. Man, this camera makes me look like it's really dark in my room. But I'll continue. Even back then, Jin could see that this guy's kind of powerful. Try the voice, please. Okay, so the voice I was going to give the Snow Elf was just going to give him, like, this hearty voice. I don't think this Sungjin Woo is of any concern to us. As far as I'm concerned, he's beneath us. And for the fact that the Shadow Monarch chose to give a human this power, it is nothing more than a betrayal. That's the voice that I gave him last time. Like, a more sinister version of the Basil Hawkins voice that I give Hawkins whenever I read One Piece for you guys. That's the kind of voice that I'm going to give him. Because he seems like the type that would speak this way to you before he mercilessly kills you. Try as you might, there is no saving you. No one will help. You can't even scream. All you can do is just suffer in agony. That's the voice that I'm going to give him. But Jin knows that the Go Gun-hee has some level of power to him for him to not only be at the position that he is, but just from the presence he gives off. So who knows? We may see Go Gun-hee fight in the next chapter, or we just might cut to something completely different. Also, one of you guys made note of how we haven't seen Cha Hae-in in a minute. We haven't seen Cha Hae-in anywhere. We really haven't seen any hunter that is from Korea, from South Korea, for a while. We haven't seen Choi Jong-in, we haven't seen Bayek, we haven't seen Cha Hae-in, we haven't seen pretty much any people that were there with Jin at the beginning. Like, what is her name? Juin, not Juin, I can't forget her name. I can't remember her name. The girl that was with, sorry about that. Bridison, again, Engti. Bridison Engti. You know, whenever you come into a stream and you want to just drop something like that, read that first, you know, because it's in bold letters. It's not difficult. It's not hard. You obviously understand human speech. Ju Jinho. Is that her name? Ju Jinho? I can't remember. The girl that was the long-haired, red-haired girl that was with Jin at the beginning. Her. We haven't seen her. We haven't seen Mr. Kim. There's just a lot of people we really haven't seen over the course of this story. It really has been a minute. So I wonder how they're doing during the midst of all of this. How do they feel about Jin having all these accolades? Because we really haven't seen their reactions to Jin having his being called a national level hunter, then getting we haven't really seen the spectrum of other people who are not nation level hunters or part of the higher rung of Hunter Association members. We really haven't seen much of them over time. But hopefully we'll see him again in the future. That's just a side note right there. But going back to what Destruct said about Roger being phenomenal, Korean names are so hard to remember. Yeah, they really are. Oh my goodness. They are so difficult to remember. Not only that, but I also have the names of different people from the Demon Slayer series in my head as well. So it is incredibly easy for me to mix up their names for other people's in different series, because I've read through all of Volume 9. I'm reading the entire series of Demon Slayer for the channel. But remembering so many different types of names, Japanese names, Korean names, it's just like, it is really tricky to get them to the faces that they belong to. So it's kind of tricky for me. But going back to what Destruct said, the entire episodes that were devoted to Roger's final voyage, they were beautiful. Oh my goodness, they were beautiful. And then the final episode then the final flashback episode of Roger's journey when he leaves. Doubt they'll be too surprised knowing what he can do, but it would be nice to see their reactions. Yeah, Hagrid, it would be. But the episodes with Roger were just absolutely phenomenal. And I was grateful to be able to actually watch them. So the vibe that I get from Go Gun-hee reminds me of Roger. Will there be a solo leveling anime? That is in the works. There's also going to be a drama created stateside. The states are looking into creating a drama for solo leveling, and solo leveling is coming out with its own game, mobile game, mind you, this year as well. So solo leveling has really picked up a lot of people's attention over the course of it being available since, like, how many years has solo leveling been out? 1 year, 2 years, maybe? Because I got started last year, I believe, but it was out much sooner than that. Can't watch the flashbacks from One Piece. Yeah, it does take a while to catch up. I mean, the anime is way behind where the current manga chapter is, so I can understand not getting into the flashbacks or anything like that. But I'm still keeping an eye on the solo leveling game as well, because I mean, it's going to be an officially licensed solo leveling game. I know someone told me about this solo leveling game on mobile before, but it was just like the same. It was just like the same game, like Shadow Warrior type game, where you're just going left, right, and you're beating enemies, and then you get improved swords. It was just that game, but it had a like Jin in place of that character. So it was just like a copy paste type of game instead of it being an actual solo leveling game built from the ground up. So we're going to be getting an officially licensed solo leveling mobile game. Also an officially licensed My Hero Academia open world mobile game as well, called The Strongest Hero. My Hero Academia, The Strongest Hero. So that's going to be coming in as well. And I'm getting called. Give me one quick second, and then I'll bring it to a close. Oh, my cords are just getting tangled up. All right. Sorry about that. Let me go ahead and end this quickly because I got to actually take care of an errand now. That was my dad calling me. Let me see. They're going to ruin it with the drama. Can't wait to go back to normal story. We don't know. It might be good. There are many mangas copying solo leveling. When you look at it through the live action shows compared to the original, it ruins it by a lot. So I feel like going down the anime road would be better. For solo leveling, they are doing a drama instead of an anime. So we don't know exactly to what extent they're going to do this drama. We just know that it's something that's happening that the states are interested in doing. I believe it's WB who's interested in it. I know my Discord brought it up. Actually, let me see if I can find it. Because someone in my Discord linked information about the drama. Let me see if I can find it. Thank God for solo. Thank God for the search feature in Discord. All right. Let me see. Someone linked me to it. I know someone did. Actually, it shouldn't be. I think it's here in my Discord. I have it here somewhere. Someone just wait a minute. Is it in my game channel? Is it in my game channel? What's it doing in there? I am trying to find it, y'all, cuz someone brought it up. Where is it? Y'all just someone put it up in my Discord. I'm just trying to find out where it is. I know it's here somewhere. Apologies, but I want to make sure I get the source. Cuz someone did in fact linked it to me talking about a solo leveling video game. I'm just trying to find out where it is. It was either a while back or whatever. I'm sorry. It is somewhere. And I didn't delete the link. That is so odd. That is so odd. You guys just one of y'all put it up here for me to look at. Yet it has disappeared. Where does it go? I'm trying to find it. I am so sorry. I'm trying to find it, Lucy, because I'm trying to find the source, but I'm also not trying to take too long because I still got that errand to run. Where are you? It couldn't have been that long ago when one of you said this to me. Because I have evidence. What the heck, man? Where is it? How far ago did you guys mention this to me? If I can't find it right now. This is so odd. This is so incredibly odd. One of you linked it, literally had a link for it to me. And yet I can't even find it. What a shame. I feel so ashamed that I am not able to find it for you guys. It's really, really odd. Assassin's Creed, Bleach Brave Souls, Anthem. Wow, we actually thought that game was going to last. Where is it? Sorry if I'm just spending time trying to find it. It's just that there's an actual source saying that this is being made. Like a solo leveling game and drama is being made, and I can't even find it. And it was a link sent to me this year, so I don't know why I can't find it for you guys. That is so weird. That is really weird. I can't understand why I can't find it now. My apologies, everyone. I can't find it. Where is it? That is so disappointing that I can't even find it. I'm sorry. I've been eating up too much. I've been eating up far too much of your time. All right, so what do I give this chapter? Let me go ahead and bring it to an end here. Wow, I've spent far too much time here in the end. I'm just gonna put into the description like the end point of when I actually stop it. So once again, sorry for just eating up so much of your time trying to find this one link. But I was so sure that it was linked. It was in my Discord somewhere. I was so sure. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's not in Discord. It was in my Twitter notifications. Mentions. Where are you? Aha! Shonen Sensei! Alright. Let me link the twit. It was a Twitter post. It was a Twitter post. And I got it in my mentions. I knew I had you guys. I got y'all. All right, let me share this tweet in the chat so you guys can see the actual tweet itself. That is not what I meant. Copy link to tweet. Thank you. Not just share it. All right, there you go. And Shonen Sensei, one of my own mods here, he linked that to me. So let me just read it to you guys real quick. You guys can look over it. Solo leveling game and drama were announced. According to the related industry on the 13th, the most popular Korean webtoon, Solo Leveling, which is owned by DNC Media and Kakeo Entertainment, will be produced as a game and a drama. The game will be developed by Netmarble, who many of you know as the people who like publish out Marvel Future Fight and Contest of Champions. And the drama will be filmed by a leading production company in the United States rather than in Korea. It is also reported that famous companies, including Warner Brothers in the United States, are showing interest in Solo Leveling as well. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There's your. I knew. See, Lucy, I was not gonna give up until I found it for you. But what do I give this chapter? I give it like a solid 8 out of 10. It didn't get me out of my chair, but that doesn't mean that the chapter itself wasn't as impactful. I mean, especially with the last moments we see of this chapter. So we're going to have to see what happens in the next chapter. But first and foremost, once again, let me apologize for taking up so much of your time near the end of this stream with me just trying to find this solo leveling game and drama information. If I just remembered it was on my Twitter feed, then I would have linked it earlier and not taken up like 5 minutes of your time full of extra. So once again, apologies for that. But I did enjoy reading through this chapter today. And I mean, for the rest of this week, my week is pretty open. I'm currently, right now, playing through Persona 5 Royal, because I still have Persona Strikers, but it's still in the plastic, and I'm not opening that until I finish Persona 5 Royal, so I'm probably going to be dedicating a lot of time to playing that, on top of doing live streams with Miles Morales as we, unlock more stuff through the game and work on getting the programmable matter suit next. So that's just on the list right now. I don't have a lot of big game prospects to add to the channel as of yet, but I'm still going to be adding lots of streamings and lots of different things to the channel regardless. So that's all that's all I got for you, ladies and gentlemen, for today. Once again, I know I said this several times already. Apologies for the extensions of me just trying to find all that information. I'll do better next time. But that's all I got. So with that being said, hope y'all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then consider subscribing, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. Now, I just want to say, It is truly an honor and a privilege to be an entertainer. Uh, this is what I love to do, you guys. I say this all the time, but I can't stress it enough how much I enjoy this. This is what I love. I look forward to doing this for you guys every day I wake up. There is nothing I look forward to more than giving you guys content that can keep you entertained. But I'm just gonna keep doing it. I'm just gonna keep doing it because I don't see myself stopping anytime soon, and I don't see myself doing anything else other than doing this because I'm just having way too much fun. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples.